It's a little bit annoying, but it's not enough to spoil my enjoyment of the overall casting. And you know, if they feel it's important for toy safety, then so be it. They are toys when all said and done.
Okay. Which one do you prefer, Hot Wheels or No Rev? I kind of like them both. I guess
Matchbox Skybusters. Something that I've started to accidentally get into. I just, when I see them and they're at a low price, or their first generation ones, I'm picking them up.
Was released, I've wondered why we had 1, 3, 4 and 5. What happened to number 2? Well, there must have been some delay.
who remembers this piece then? Yes, the old No Rev Citroen jumper. Now at the time I didn't know what kind of vehicle it was portraying. Obviously it's a tipper. Subsequently a friend of mine has informed me that these are French maintenance vehicles. So it's some kind of roadside maintenance vehicle that you would come along and get the roads fixed by. The little blue light on the top there is just to indicate or warn people of imminent road fixing, or road fixing that's taking place at the same time. Now in the same series of cars that come in these little blisters, are available from the Entertainer for some entertainers, or maybe all the entertainers, I'm not sure, but they are getting more and more sparse now. So I bought this one the other day and there wasn't many left at all in the shop. Luckily this one was left, and this is one I actually went in there to buy. I almost bought it on the day at the time. This is a Dacia Duster. Loads and loads of lovely superficial detail going on. Those little front lights there are all plastic, so just adds a nice touch to the piece. No opening doors as such. It's an interesting scale. It feels, it looks quite big compared to that little tipper there. So I'm guessing that this Duster's around about 155 scale, because they're usually, they're not as big as you might think. It does actually feature, I think, an opening tailgate. Let's have a look. Oh, there you go. Ooh, it does open up just. And it's got a bit of space in there to keep some stuff. Now I'm thinking that this is also some kind of road mending vehicle. It's got interesting suspension, reminiscent of the old Majorette style suspension, which is quite cool. Is there suspension? Yes, there's suspension on this piece as well. There we go. Quite good suspension too, actually. It's got a good set of wheels as well. Definitely not generic, or certainly very possibly relevant to this vehicle. I'm not too sure what that 18 means there on the side, and it's got no flashing lights, but it does kind of go with this this tipper truck. Very nice side by side there. Make a nice little roadside service set. And there you go, the Dacia Duster. Chunky, but good.
Different. I'm going to talk about Matchbox Skybusters. Now, Matchbox Skybusters came out around about 1973. Okay, now I'm going to show you the earliest one that I've got hold of, which is this Airbus. Okay, so it's described as a A300B Airbus, which is probably the first Airbus, and it's dated 1973. Doesn't say Skybusters on it, just says Matchbox, although it does say SB3, so that's the third in the series. I can't remember what 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the numbers were. I'm pretty sure there was an Alpha Jet, there would have been a Spitfire, and the interesting thing with the Skybusters is that they sort of came in at about the same time as when they started, Matchbox started doing plastic kits, and I think some of the design work may have crossed over, so if they were doing a design study they would perhaps put it over to from the plastic kits to Skybusters, so it meant that there was less work. It's an efficient way of doing it. Got some creeping in the background there that are ready to go to show you. And the other thing that's quite similar with the plastic kits is they followed a 2-colour idea where you'd have 2 shades of paint. And if you have a look at the Alpha Jets and you have a look at the Spitfire, the first runs of them, the Alpha Jet was red and white, the plastic kit had red and white plastic, and the Spitfire had a sort of goldy tan colour and green, which is what the Skybusters one was. So the thing to show you also is that they said at the time that they were running on super fast wheels. Well, they don't look much like super fast wheels. But the other thing that's interesting is that the first run, for the first couple of years, were on these bit of bent wire that were inserted in, which proved to be not the greatest because they distorted and got ripped off. So that's the Airbus. And then what prompted this video was that yesterday at lunchtime I wandered off to market in Covent Garden, and I picked up a couple more, and they worked out at £1.60 each. And this is the Cessna 210G, and this is Skybusters 14, SB14, dated 1974. Notice how that 4 is slightly knocked back. It follows a tradition with Matchbox where the last number of the date could sometimes be a little bit strange and not in sequence with the others, and it's because they just simply didn't know when they were going to release it. So things were set in place. And sometimes you get a drop number, so it's just slightly down, or just doesn't seem to look, you know, done together at the same time. And that's the reason why. You can see that with the Ford Capri, if you have a look at the date on that one. So yeah, it's quite an attractive one. This one caught my eye because of the orange. I like orange. I think this is the first, or no, it's the second colour scheme they did. So this probably dates from the late 70s. A sort of amber window as well. Rather basic in terms of casting details. But as you can see, we've now gone to a hard axle in a plastic polythene mount, which is a bit more indestructible than the wire system. So that's that one, and then we'll just finish off this little trio with the Phantom. Now, I got this yesterday at where the stickers had been on the wings, the roundels, the RAF roundels. The residue was still on there, as were the on the colour bar there. You can just about see where the sticker was. I managed to clean it off eventually. Interesting thing with the Phantom is that I don't think the Phantom came out in the Matchbox plastic kits until probably around about 1976. This one is dated as a Skybuster as 1975, so it's quite late. Interesting colour scheme, because it's not like anything that the RAF or the Navy had. And one other thing to point out with the Skybusters that's quite interesting is the way they released models. The Harrier, which looks like the first generation of Harrier, didn't pop up until probably about 1978, which is almost 10 years after the aircraft came into service. And the Lightning, that didn't turn up until about 77. So the BAC Lightning had been in service with the RAF since about 1960, so it's rather late. So one gets the feeling that design work had been done, but they've been kept back because of other models. So there you go, something different. Matchbox Skybusters. Something that I've started to accidentally get into. When I see them and they're at a low price, or their first generation ones, I'm picking them up, which could be a bit of a mistake. But they're nice little models. they're reasonably accurate for toys. And they're quite pleasant and jolly, so I used to have lots of them as a kid. That's about it. That's all I can tell you today. Thank you.
Oh, check this out. It's a bit of a one-off. It's the Fresh Metal Maisto school bus, and it cost me £1 in Poundland. They're still selling these. I'm still picking them up. There's a really nice Golf for people out there who like their Volkswagens. I think I've got a Golf though. I'm sure I've got the Golf. I got it years and years ago, but in a trade actually. But this is lovely, mint condition, which is funny because I'm sure I've got something like this. I'm sure I've got the Maisto school bus already, but not in mint con. Made in China, Maisto school bus. Not a lot you can say about that really, but I'm sure I'll be bringing it out again in a later video. But for now, there you go. That's not bad, is it? Little international up front there. Nice stop sign on the side. Lovely job, Maisto. Perfectly. Perfect. Just my kind of thing.
So I picked this one out because I didn't actually attend this event, and this is the whole thing with Matchbox models yesteryear. They just did so many of them, like Lado, and this Model T Ford became, you know, so commonplace it became, to a lot of people, rather boring after a while. Which now, in looking back on it, you think, well, perhaps it's time to look at these things with a fresh set of eyes. Heavy bits of kit. That's all die cast, no plastic. You know, the top part is all plastic. It's all metal, rather. Sorry. But this event I didn't actually attend. It was to celebrate 100 years of world motoring, as it says, at Silverstone Circuit, and these would have been available, presumably from a stand there, maybe even guys from Matchbox. But whether or not they overproduced them and they went on general sale, who knows? But I had an opportunity to pick one up. What's interesting about this is the date of the event is 1985, and Matchbox went out. Lesney went out of business in 1982, and it became Matchbox International. But if we flip this thing over, it says Lesney Products and Company. So what's that about? They were very good changing things over. That's 3 years after the event. One wonders whether these were spare castings left over. Only just noticed that. Another Model T Ford is the one that was done for Hoover's 75 years, the Hoover vacuum cleaners. And this is one I've had from when it came out, which is, I think, around about 1984. I can't remember now exactly. But it was an early example of the yesteryears trying to be a bit more period correct, and rather having these bright wheels that they had, and sometimes they were chrome, they went for a black one, which is more realistic. And I think that's probably because Hoover said, okay, if you're going to have the rights to do this, and presumably they bought up a whole load for their own sale within shops, etc., try and make it look period correct. This is actually based on a real vehicle, and this painting here was like literally a raised area on the side of the cab, and I've got a picture somewhere of this which I must find and show to you. And why not show it to you now? So this is the book that I had. Well, it's a copy of a book that I had when I was a teenager, and it was printed in 1984. So if I turn to the page, here is the guys loading up a Model T Ford outside the Prince's Road workshop, which was in central London before they went to Perivale in West London. And there's the van. So you can see it's not too dissimilar, but where the location of this painting is, which is in a frame on the side of the vehicle. Sorry about the focusing. Come on, focus, there you are. You can see it's like a painting. So that the graphics is pretty much correct. Okay, and the way it says there on the side, not quite the same. I mean, you can look at the cab, it's not quite the same, but anyway, it proves the point. And interesting enough, that photograph was then reproduced on the back of here in a similar fashion. See that? Lovely. This is this MGTC. This came out in 1977 and rather chubby, but it's based on the real vehicle. But again, really heavy. I mean, you've got a base casting, which is all the sort of mudguards, fenders, whatever you want to call them, and a second piece, which is the body. And this piece comes off. Well, I'm not going to do it now, but it was quite a nice little model to go with the Jaguar SS100 they did at about the same time. Came out about the same year. Anyway, and then we'll look at this one. This model's interesting. This is an AEC S-type omnibus from 1922, and this came out in 1982. And you can see it says Lesney Products PLC, Public Limited Company. That marks a departure, but this was the year, because it used to say Lesney Products and Company Limited. This is the year they went bust. So this model came out just as it was going bust. It's literally a transition model. And I remember being a little bit disappointed by it, because I've seen it in the Matchbox catalogue at the time, and I think I actually got one from Hamleys as a kid. And I was just disappointed because it was quite plasticky. I think my dad commented on this, and he's an engineer, and he said, "Oh, this top part would normally be metal." So yeah, it was a bit disappointing, to say the least. But it's a nice representation of a real vehicle. The stickers again. Why did they go into doing stickers when they could have done printing? And these details on the side here, again, not particularly well done. So it shows you that things weren't good. The general logo has been printed on, but I mean, you know, this is all period incorrect graphics. You know, using flipping Helvetica on there, it just doesn't look right at all. This one has had a manufacturing flaw. The radiator piece of plastic has been put in wrong and it's snapped it. So desperate days at the factory. People were worried about their jobs probably. But yeah, I mean, at least it's got an interior, it's got seats I suppose, but no glass in the windows. You know, I think that if this hadn't been produced at a time that would be so tortuous for them, I think this top bit would have been metal. I think these labels would have been done period correct. And I think it probably would have had windows in the base bit, but I think they were trying to cut corners. But there you go, never mind. So that's a little quick selection of wonderful Matchbox models of yesteryear, which again, you know, just like Lado, there's a lot of them around still, and they're going for silly money because they were overproduced and people thought they were going to be worth something in the future. And unfortunately they're not. But that's where, as a collector, you're a winner, because it means you can pick up these wonderful models that were made in the United Kingdom, that are all metal in most cases, with the exception of this one. Solid, well considered models. Yeah, everyone's a winner at the moment until such times as the supply dries up, but more will appear, I'm sure. Lots of these are sitting in people's attics.
Well, you join me just as I'm about to open up a parcel all the way from the United States of America, from a place called Shesnailieville. And my good friend Shesnailie lives there, and he's been commenting on my posts since like forever. So thank you so much for the support. Now, I'm not sure what's in this parcel because, ooh, I don't have a clue. Basically, the clue was it was something from my childhood. So let's have a look and see what it is, because I'm not sure what it is. Oh, there's even more boxing going on. So, oh, we've got a letter. Got a letter, a little note from my friend, my wealthy friend. says, K5, you mentioned having one of these as a little whelk and not anymore. Thought you might like this one. Shesnailies. Whoa, thank you very much, Shesnailie. Well, I've got to try and open this up now. Right, no idea what's in here still. This is brilliant, thanks so much. And it's gold. Oh my word. It's the dink. Oh yes. Gosh, so many memories come flooding back. Look at that, the dinky Corvette Stingray with the special lights. That is awesome. Oh man, look at that. That's exactly the one that I had as a kid. That is amazing. Look at that. Oh yes. Oh, thank you so much. Look at that. That is absolutely identical. It's even got the suspension. Oh man. Wow, thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. This is a proper little snail vehicle, this one. Look at that. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Wow. Well, it's completely awesome, of course. The original Corvette Stingray. Wow. Well, I don't know what to say other than thank you so much again. Everything, it's got everything. That's amazing. What a dinky piece. Huge.
So when the first wave of the 50th anniversary Superfast Premium was released, I wondered why we had 1, 3, 4 and 5. What happened to number 2? Well, there must have been some delay or technical difficulty, as they say, because here it is as a second release with the Stingray. So that's in the end a 6 car set, and we're going to open this and see if it was worth the wait. Starting with the BMW i8. The i8 has been released as part of the mainline not so long ago in black. Pretty decent model, only lacking a little bit of detail in the back. So here is the, there you go. Ooh, nice snap. So this is a new i8 with opening feature with a nice blue. The top has been painted, which was not the case in the mainline, and the back is fully detailed now. Very good. Nice wheels, and let's see those doors. Okay. So right off the bat, they're not easy to catch. There we go. Okay, I got one. Let's get two. Oh, wow, it's kind of stuck here. There you go. So here it is. It open. Do we have we can see a little bit inside. There's a steering wheel. Nice. Well, it's actually way more detailed than I thought it would be. I don't know if you know. You can't see much, but there you go. With the opening doors, quite a fit. I can see them break easily. They're a bit finicky, and there's quite a bit of space. So I don't know if I would be opening them all the time. How does it compare with the mainline? Here's the mainline. So from the look of it, this one is based on the mainline with the modifications for the opening doors. The back way better on this one, and obviously also rubber tires for this one. Everything else seems to be the same. A slight, no, the base is slightly different also. Here there's some the back. Huh. Yeah, this one is a 1 rivet and this one is 2. Interesting. What do you think? I like it. I really like the blue. Do I care about the opening doors? Not that much. They feel very plasticky and very fragile. It's I don't know. We'll see on the long term. But I don't play with my cars, so it should be okay. Next one, and the final one for this wave, is the 2016 Corvette Stingray. And this car also, I think, is based on the mainline, except the mainline is the 2015 Corvette Stingray. Although you will be hard pressed to notice any difference in the casting other than the opening feature. The opening feature being this. So before we close it, a look at the engine bay, fully painted. That's a nice touch. How does it close? It closes okay. No satisfying bump or click, but it's alright. The top is painted in this matte black, very nice. The wheels are Hot Wheels Wheel Riders. Fully detailed in the back, in the front. And what does it say here? 16 Corvette Stingray. So here's the mainline version. And here it says 15 Corvette Stingray. Is there any difference? Not that I can see. The only difference between being the top. Here you have the lights, and here you don't. And of course, the opening trunk. Everything else seems to be exactly the same. So I wonder why they chose to call it differently. I don't see much difference other than that. One little thing is that the front wheels are very small compared to the original release, where it was more balanced. Here you have almost feel like it's a Hot Wheels car with the big wheel in the back and the tiny ones in the front. Maybe they didn't have the proper size, a real rider size, for this car. Other than that, it's pretty neat and probably my favorite of the two, if not of the whole set. So there you go. This is all 6 models have now been released of the first wave. The second wave should come this summer, sometime this summer, and I will be looking forward to it because there's a Porsche in it. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Ta-ta.
It's a beautiful Renault 5 rally car or something similar. I'm guessing rally, but it could be a kind of one of those sports coupe type racing cars. It's the turbo, of course, and I got it for the wheels. Really, look at those wheels, they're just magnificent. I did see a recent example of this just released in yellow. I'm guessing this is relatively new as well. Probably it's got to be post 2008. It's got to be around about, I don't know, I really don't know. No idea. There's nothing written on the back date wise, no trademark indicators there. It just tells you who they're affiliated to. Designed in France, made in China. I think we need to get it out really. But, I've never seen them on a card before. Well, I have, but not in premium mode. They're normally in a red box, so I'll keep as much of the card as I can. Wow, it's actually not too bad with the weight and all that. It does have rubberized tires of some sort or some description. They're very nice. Look at that, we go around the wheels. As always, it has fixed axles. Well, the wheels are fixed onto the axles so they don't move independently. Okay. Skinny wheels. It's got a bit of a lump there in that wheel. Doesn't really affect it on the outside though. So what have we got for our money? We've got nice plastic inserts on the headlamps. A little bit of flash, but it has got all the marker lights marked in. Some goodly amount of decal. Lovely Fiat blue, not Fiat, Renault blue, I'm guessing. Love that Renault sign on the roof. Number 3. Beautiful Renault 5 TL Turbo. That is awesome. Now, I also have another Renault. Let's just quickly compare it. This is the Car Culture one from Hot Wheels. So I was guessing they're going to be around about the same size, but the no rev is a little bit bigger. And the no rev says 154. So there we go, that's 154. So that's probably around about 155 for the Hot Wheel. So all you lovely Hot Wheel collectors out there are scared of your 155s. If you've bought this, you've bought a 155 scale car. Oh dear. So 154, it's big, but it's not too big. It's actually there's quite a lot of rally cars in the no rev range that squeeze into that that field of 154. It does have a little bit of a wheel issue at the back there, mind you, but I guess it's supposed to be a static model. It's not to be played with. Though you could play with that if you were desperate. I'm pretty desperate. There we go. The beautiful Renault 5. There you go. Which one do you prefer, Hot Wheels or no rev? I kind of like them both. I guess the fat wheels do look good, but then skinny wheels are realistic. So there you go. Maybe they're a little bit too skinny. There's a lot of hub spare there. There you go. Awesome.
Quite a bit of chatter about this particular Matchbox model that was in recent batches, and it's because of this post that's gone in on the back. So this is the Audi Avant RS 6. Anyway, we all know that notation there at 94 Audi Avant is incorrect. That was just a mistake on the part of the graphics team at Mattel. But anyway, I thought it would be interesting to compare it with one that I have from a few years ago, which is the black one, quite eagerly sought after apparently. This came in a multi-pack, so in a moment I'm going to open this, which has stayed sealed since I got it at Christmas, and we can have a look at the differences. Here they are, side by side. I just extracted the white one from the packaging, and interesting that it's black and white to show a contrast. So I can confirm that, of course, with the black one, that there isn't a post stuck in the back there, because the post is obviously a very short one that comes off a lump at the back. Alright, so I thought it was actually going to be a sort of where the number plate came out, but of course it's not. So that is the essential difference. I've had a look round and there is no other difference apart from that. Obviously slight alterations I've had to make with the interior plastic, a hole in the back to take that post. But I can only assume that they just felt that this was more important for toy safety and breakability. The interesting thing is that apart from the license plate change, because this is well, looks like a German license plate or a European one or some strange code. In fact, this one says still too fast, but all the other graphics haven't changed. Okay, they're exactly the same in terms of what it looks like, so that's because they, you know, just like if you do any kind of graphic treatment, it will just get saved as a file and backed up somewhere, and then they just put it out again. Obviously it's on an archive, I assume, so it doesn't have to be reproduced, because there is obviously a period of time between these two models. This is dated 2006, it's the RS6 Avant from 2004. Okay. There is obviously a graphics change on the back here. Actually, that's unfair to say, I missed out. So you can see where there is a bit of difference, perhaps, in the way that they've done the representation of the stamping. So, but it does say 2006 and 2017 Mattel for trademark purposes. You can see that where the post is as well. So it's here. Well, they've made it like a spare tyre arrangement to mask it from the back, which shows an effort, doesn't it? Anyway, so that's it really. There is no great difference. Obviously got different wheels. I remember having this first run one in red and buying it in Woolworths in Hackney, not far away from the original the Matchbox factory, strange enough, but not where it was made. And that would have been back in 2007, 8, something like that. Particularly nice. I don't know why I got rid of it, but I did. The black one's nice. I sort of prefer it actually to the white one. But you know, a minor point. If I tell you that this black one came in a 10-pack multi-pack that I picked up in a charity shop for £5, you'd probably be quite upset, because it was a whole load of stuff inside that 10-pack. Some of it was so-so, but that was in there, and there was no damage to them that I could see. But that was good. So I thought I'd just show you that. These two Audi models together. I'm sure there'll be another release of this one, and let's see. But I can't get too fussed about this thing about putting the post in there. Yes, it's a bit, you know, it's a little bit annoying, but it's not enough to spoil my enjoyment of the overall casting. And you know, if they feel it's important for toy safety, then so be it. They are toys when all said and done. Even though most of the people buying these days are in fact adults, but you know, they have to do what they have to do. That's me signing out. All the best.
Oh, you catch me taking it all apart. Yeah, you could take these things apart back in the day and give them a little old clean up, a bit of maintenance. So just going to go over it with the baby wipe. That'll get rid of any, although the actual exterior of the car was okay. The only thing you can't take off are the doors. If you notice, also inside the doors it has little door cards as well, which are awesome. So I'm literally just going over it with this wipe. Nothing too serious there. Here's the interior. It's made out of plastic, just one piece. It's got the nice chrome plated steering wheel. Nice touch. Of course, Stinky back in the day, the Stingray B. Stinky back in the day decided to do like a link up with their Meccano range, and you could buy these cars in kits, hence the little screws on the bottom, as opposed to rivets, of course. So let's see what we can clean up on here. There's not a lot I can do with this. This will probably need to be re-chromed or something, but it's all made out of Zamac. Beautiful, nice, which is awesome. The main mission really is to give this little windscreen a quick wipe over. See how much I can give it. It's got a slight, no, nothing there. That's lovely. Look at that, you see? Just brings it up a treat. There we go. Clean that out. Toothbrush gets in all the cracks. There we go. Nice. And give the bonnet once over. All the parts are marked Corvette Stingray, of course, so you don't get confused with your Escort that could also do the same thing, which I actually still have my Escort from back in the day. It was an Escort police car, and I believe I also had a transit van as well, which came apart. The only thing with these screw down cars was that well, it was easy to take them all apart and lose all the parts, obviously, but on the whole, most people didn't. Well, I didn't anyway. All my cars have stayed together. Various forms, and that's it really. There she is, all fits together like that. Base goes on the bottom. Not really an awful lot to clean on this piece. It's absolutely immaculate, really, given the age of it. And to be fair, the one that I had was in roughly the same condition as this one. So one careful owner, possibly, in the past. There we go. Really looking forward to taking some pictures of it, actually. Got a little plan developing. There we are. The dinky Corvette Stingray. Let the lights actually stay up. Oh, nearly. Yeah, they stay up now. There you go. Wow. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, everybody, and ta-ta for now.